Look at old photographs of country folk from 100 years ago, folks who never once saw a modern dentist, who had none of the toothpaste and gadgets we have now, and you'll often see strong, sound teeth. And it makes you wonder how, without any of what we think we need, so many of the old folks kept their teeth healthy. Well, today I'm going to tell you the real answer, the forgotten old wisdom of how folks cared for their teeth, and the single biggest secret behind it, which most folks never guess, and which is entirely within your power today. But I'm going to be very honest and very careful with you on this one right from the start, because your health matters far too much for anything less. Nothing I tell you today is a replacement for a real dentist. These old ways support good dental health. They do not replace the care of a dentist, and you should keep seeing one. So hear me on that, and then let me give you the real old wisdom, honestly. Let me give you that single biggest secret first, because it towers over everything else, and it's the one most folks never guess. It isn't a special old toothpaste, or a magic root, or some clever trick. It's the food. It's the diet. The single greatest reason so many of the old folks had healthier teeth is that they ate almost no sugar and almost none of the soft, processed, sugary food that fills the modern diet. And sugar, above all things, is what rots teeth. That's not old folklore, that's plain truth the dentists themselves will tell you. Sugar feeds the decay that destroys teeth, and the modern diet is drowning in it. Sugar in everything, all day long, constantly bathing the teeth in the very thing that rots them. But the old folks ate a plain, whole, natural diet, their own vegetables and meats and whole grains and simple foods, with very, very little sugar. For sugar was rare and dear and simply not a big part of how anyone ate. And so their teeth were spared the constant assault of sugar that modern teeth suffer, and they decayed far less. That's the great secret, plain and simple and entirely within your power. Eat less sugar, far less, and you protect your teeth more than any product ever could. The old folks didn't have better toothpaste. They had a better diet, one that didn't attack their teeth in the first place. And there's a second part to the food secret, beyond just the lack of sugar, and it's the kind of food they ate. The old diet was full of hard, firm, fibrous, chewy foods, real whole foods that took genuine chewing, raw vegetables, hard fruits, tough meats, coarse whole grain breads, foods that gave the teeth and gums a real workout with every meal. And that hard chewing is good for teeth and gums, exercising them, keeping them strong. And the fibrous foods even help clean the teeth as you eat them. The modern diet, by contrast, is full of soft, mushy, processed foods that take almost no chewing at all, that give the teeth no work, and often leave sticky, sugary residue behind. So the old folks not only avoided the sugar that rots teeth, they ate the hard, whole foods that strengthen and clean them. The food itself was working for their teeth, where our modern food works against ours. Now let me tell you about the actual cleaning, the old hygiene, because they did care for and clean their teeth, and there's genuine good in these old ways, though I'll be honest about them too. Folks cleaned their teeth long before there was any store-bought toothpaste, and they did it with simple things. There were the chewing sticks, twigs from certain trees, the end frayed soft into a kind of brush that folks across the whole world used to clean their teeth, rubbing and brushing them with it, and some of these came from trees with genuinely helpful properties. There was salt, plain salt, rubbed on the teeth and gums, which cleans and is good for the gums. There was baking soda, that gentle cleaner, used to brush and clean the teeth and freshen the mouth, and baking soda is still recognized as a real and gentle tooth cleaner to this day. And there was the simple rinsing and swishing with water or salt water after eating to clean the mouth. So they clean their teeth faithfully with these simple, natural things, and that regular cleaning, along with a good diet, kept many an old mouth healthy. Let me press deeper on that great food secret, because it truly is the heart of the whole matter, and I want you to understand it well. It isn't only how much sugar, but how often. The dentist will tell you that it's the constant, all-day exposure to sugar that does the worst harm. For every time sugar hits the teeth, it feeds the decay for a good while after. So the modern habit of sipping sugary drinks all day long, nibbling sweet snacks between meals, keeping something sweet in the mouth near constantly, is about the worst thing there is for teeth, because it never gives the mouth a rest, never lets it recover, keeps the teeth under constant assault from dawn to dark. The old folks, eating their plain meals with little sugar and little snacking between, gave their teeth long stretches of peace between meals to recover. So it isn't just cutting the total sugar, though that matters greatly, it's especially cutting out that constant all-day grazing on sweet things and sweet drinks. Eat your meals, keep the sugar low, and let your mouth rest in between, and you've done a great deal of what kept the old folks' teeth so sound. And let me be clear about what the old diet actually was, so you see how different it was from ours. It was the family's own vegetables, fresh and cooked. It was meats and eggs and dairy. It was whole grains, coarse breads made from the whole grain, not the soft, white, processed stuff. It was hard fruits eaten in their season. It was simple, whole, real food, cooked at home from scratch, and there was almost no sugar in any of it, and none of the endless processed, packaged, sugary food that fills the modern diet. Sweets were a rare treat for a holiday or a special day, not an everyday, all-day constant. That whole way of eating, plain and whole and low in sugar, is what protected their teeth. And it's a way of eating that would protect yours too, and improve your whole health besides. It's not really about the teeth alone. It's about eating the way human beings ate for all of history before the flood of sugar came. Let me say a bit more about the old cleaning ways too, honestly, because there's real good in them and some genuine wisdom used sensibly. Those chewing sticks I mentioned, the frayed twigs, were used the world over and are still used in some places today. And from certain trees they had genuinely helpful cleaning and freshening properties, a natural toothbrush that folks kept their teeth clean with for thousands of years. The salt, rubbed gently on teeth and gums, cleans and is soothing and good for the gums, an old standby. The baking soda is a genuine, gentle tooth cleaner, mild and effective, recognized as such right up to today, and many a modern toothpaste has it in them still. And the simple habit of rinsing the mouth with water or a bit of salt water after eating to clear away the food is a small good thing anyone can do. These simple cleanings, done faithfully and gently, kept the old mouth clean and healthy alongside the good diet. There's no magic in them, but there's genuine, sensible good, and used gently alongside your modern care, they're fine old practices. And let me say a special word about the gums. For the old folks' gum health was part of their whole mouth health, and gums matter as much as teeth. The hard, chewy, fibrous old diet gave the gums a good workout and kept them stimulated and healthy, and the salt was good for them. And the whole low-sugar way protected them from the troubles that sugar and soft food bring. Healthy gums are the foundation of healthy teeth, for teeth with poor gums beneath them are in trouble no matter how sound the teeth themselves. So the old way, by strengthening the gums with hard chewing and protecting them with the good diet and the salt, cared for the whole foundation, not just the visible teeth. That's worth remembering, that caring for your teeth means caring for your gums too, and the old whole food, low sugar way did both at once. I think of those old country folks in the photographs, and the sound teeth so many of them kept into old age. And it's a striking thing when you consider they had no modern dentistry at all. Now, I'll be honest, it wasn't perfect, and surely some suffered with their teeth in the old days, and when a tooth went truly bad, there was real hardship, for they didn't have the good remedies we have now. I'd never paint the old days as some golden age of perfect teeth, for that wouldn't be honest, and the modern dentist has spared us a great deal of suffering the old folks endured when things did go wrong. But the plain fact remains that decay itself was far less common among them, that many kept sound teeth with none of our products, and that the great reason was the diet, the near absence of the sugar that rots teeth. That's the honest picture. The old diet protected the teeth wonderfully well from decay, even as the old folks lacked the good repair we now have when decay did strike. So the wisdom to take is the protection, the diet, joined to the modern repair when it's needed. The best of both. Now I must stop and be very honest and very careful with you, more than anywhere else, because teeth are one thing where bad advice can do real and lasting harm, and I care about you too much to lead you wrong. So hear all of this clearly. First and most important, none of this replaces a dentist. Modern dentistry is a genuinely good and valuable thing that saves teeth and prevents suffering, and you should see a dentist regularly, and go to one right away if you have any pain, any problem, any trouble with your teeth or gums. The old ways support good dental health. They are not a substitute for professional care, and I would never want you to skip the dentist because of anything I've said. Please keep seeing your dentist. Second, I am not telling you to throw away your toothpaste. Modern toothpaste, and especially the fluoride in it, genuinely helps protect teeth from decay, and that's well established. The old folks would have loved to have it. So this old wisdom isn't about rejecting the good things modern dental care offers. It's about adding the old wisdom, above all the wisdom about diet, on top of good modern care, not instead of it. Third, be careful and gentle with anything you put on your teeth, and don't use anything harsh or overly abrasive, for scrubbing too hard or with something too rough can wear away the very enamel you're trying to protect, and that harms rather than helps. Gentle is the rule. The plain baking soda and salt, used gently, are fine, but don't go scrubbing at your teeth with anything harsh or gritty. And when in doubt, ask your dentist what's safe. And fourth, if you're ever going to try an old practice you've heard of, like the old oil swishing that some folks do, understand it honestly for what it is, an old practice that some find freshening, but not a cure for anything, not a replacement for brushing and the dentist, and not something that reverses real dental problems, whatever anyone claims. Be honest with yourself about what these things can and can't do. They support a clean mouth. They don't work miracles, and they don't replace real care. With all those honest cautions given, and they matter, let me tell you why this old wisdom is still so valuable, even alongside the modern dentist. Because that great secret, the diet, is entirely true and entirely in your power, and it's the thing modern folks most neglect. You can brush all you like, but if you're bathing your teeth in sugar all day long, you're fighting a losing battle. The old folks won that battle, mostly by never fighting it, by simply not flooding their mouths with sugar in the first place. And you can do the same. Cutting down the sugar, cutting out the constant sugary drinks and snacks, eating more whole, firm, natural foods, is the single most powerful thing you can do for your teeth, more powerful than any product. And it's the very heart of why the old folks' teeth fared so well. That wisdom is as true today as it ever was, and most folks have completely forgotten it, thinking dental health is all about what you brush with, when it's far more about what you eat. And there's a deeper truth in it, the same one that runs through so many of these old ways. So much of our modern ill health, in our teeth and far beyond, comes from the modern diet, from all the sugar and all the soft processed food that our bodies and our teeth were never made for. The old folks were healthier in many ways, and their teeth were just one visible sign of it, because they ate the plain, whole, natural food that human beings thrived on for all of history, before the flood of sugar and processed food washed over everything. So the lesson of the teeth is really a lesson about the whole diet, about eating the way our ancestors ate, whole and natural and low in sugar. And it's a lesson that would improve far more than just our teeth. Our teeth are, in a way, the canary in the coal mine, the first visible sign of what the sugary modern diet does to us. Heed what it's telling you, and eat the old way, and your whole body, teeth and all, will thank you. Let me speak for a moment about the children, for this is where the old wisdom matters most of all, and where you can do the most good. A child raised on the plain, whole, low-sugar old diet grows up with far better teeth than a child raised on the modern flood of sugary drinks, sweet snacks, and soft processed food. And those good early years shape a mouth for life. So if you take anything from all this, take it for your little ones. Keep the constant sugar away from them, the sweet drinks especially, which are so terribly hard on young teeth. Give them whole, real foods to chew. Teach them to clean their teeth faithfully and gently from the start, and take them to the dentist regularly, of course, for that good modern care. Do that, and you give them a foundation of dental health that will serve them their whole lives, the very foundation the old folks gave their children without even thinking about it, simply by how they ate. The habits and the diet of childhood shape the teeth of a lifetime, and that's a gift within your power to give. And let me draw the whole thing together into its plain, honest lesson, for it's simple in the end. The forgotten way the old folks kept their teeth healthy was not one clever trick, but a whole way of living, and its heart was the food. They ate little sugar, and so their teeth weren't constantly attacked by the thing that most rots teeth. They ate hard, whole, natural foods that exercised and even cleaned their teeth and gums. They cleaned their teeth faithfully with simple, gentle, natural things. And so, without any of our modern products, many of them kept sound teeth for life. The lesson for us is not to throw away the good modern care, which is a blessing, but to add back the old wisdom the modern world forgot. Above all, the wisdom about the food. For we've come to think dental health is all about what fancy thing we brush with, and we've forgotten the far greater truth, that it's mostly about what we eat, and that no amount of brushing will save teeth that are bathed in sugar all day long. Get the food right, the way the old folks did, and you've won the greater part of the battle before you ever pick up a brush. And see once more how the teeth are really just a window onto the whole thing. The same sugary, soft, processed, modern diet that rots our teeth harms our bodies in 100 other ways too. And the same whole, natural, low-sugar old diet that protected the old folks' teeth protected their whole health besides. So in learning to eat for healthy teeth, you're really learning to eat for a healthy body. The two are the same lesson. The teeth just show it plainest and soonest. Heed what your teeth are telling you about your diet, and you'll be doing your whole self a great and lasting good. Let me give you a few plain, practical steps you can actually take, so this isn't just fine talk, but something you can begin today sensibly and safely. The first and biggest, cut the sugary drinks. If you do just one thing, do this. For the sweet drinks, the sodas and juices and sugary coffees sipped through the day are among the very worst things there are for teeth, bathing them in sugar and acid for hours. Trade them for water, and you've done your teeth an enormous kindness. The second, cut the constant snacking on sweet things. And if you do have something sweet, have it with a meal rather than on its own between meals, so your mouth gets its long rest afterward. The third, add more whole, firm, real foods that take chewing. The raw vegetables, the hard fruits, the whole grains, both for your teeth and your whole health. The fourth, clean your teeth faithfully and gently, twice a day, keeping up your good modern toothpaste. And don't forget to clean gently between the teeth too, which matters as much as the brushing. And the fifth, keep your regular visits to the dentist, and go at once if anything troubles you. None of these is hard, and none costs much, and together they join the best of the old wisdom to the best of the modern care. That's the whole of it, plain and doable, starting today. And I'd add one gentle, honest word for anyone who's neglected their teeth and feels it may be too late. For I know some carry shame about their teeth. It's never too late to begin protecting the teeth you have. Whatever has happened before, cutting the sugar and caring for your mouth from today forward protects what remains and helps going ahead. And a good dentist is there to help, not to judge. So if things have gone wrong, go and be helped, for that's what they're for. There's no shame in it, only good sense, and every step you take from here forward is a step toward better. So wherever you're starting from, start kindly today. So here's what I'd leave you with, honestly and carefully. Keep seeing your dentist. Keep using your good toothpaste. Keep up your modern dental care, all of it, for it's good and it works. But add to it the great forgotten wisdom of the old folks, which is mostly about the food. Cut down hard on the sugar, especially the constant sugary drinks and snacks that bathe your teeth all day. Eat more whole, firm, natural foods that take real chewing. Clean your teeth faithfully, and understand that the real old secret to healthy teeth was never a special product at all, but a whole way of eating that didn't attack the teeth in the first place. Take up that wisdom alongside your modern care, and you'll be doing the very best thing there is for your teeth, the thing the old folks did without even thinking about it. Because in the end, the forgotten way the old folks kept their teeth healthy wasn't really a secret cleaning trick at all. It was a whole way of eating and living, plain and natural and low in sugar, that protected not just their teeth, but their whole health. And that wisdom is waiting for any of us to take back up, right alongside all the good the modern world offers. Use both, the old wisdom and the modern care together, each in its place, and give your teeth the best of both. If this is the kind of honest, careful old wisdom you've been hungry for, the kind that respects both the old ways and your real well-being, then stay here with me. There's so much more where this came from, and I aim to bring it back to you, one piece at a time, always honestly, always with care for your true good. Subscribe, and we'll keep remembering the old ways together. Because some of the most valuable things we ever knew are the simple ones we let ourselves forget. And the old truth that healthy teeth begin with what we eat is surely one of them. And please, do keep seeing your dentist, for that's the wisest care of all. Old wisdom and new together.